Let's be honest for a second. Look around. Why do some people seem to completely crack the code to life while everyone else is just stuck in the exact same loop for years? Is it because they're genetic freaks? Born rich? Just lucky? No. Not even close. They just mastered the one skill most people run away from. Discipline. See, most people live their lives entirely based on a vibe. If they feel motivated, they work. If they don't, they scroll, they procrastinate, they quit. And then they wonder why their life looks exactly the same as it did last year. By the end of this video, we're breaking that loop. You're going to learn how to build the kind of unstoppable discipline that makes procrastination irrelevant, so you can finally become the person who actually finishes what they start. If you're done making excuses, let's get into it. Here's the unfiltered truth nobody wants to admit. Discipline isn't a personality trait. It's a muscle. Every single micro decision you make today is doing one of two things. It's either building that muscle up, or letting it atrophy. Every time you hit snooze, every time you whisper, "I'll just start on Monday," every time you choose what's comfortable over what's necessary, you are literally training your brain to be a quitter. You're teaching yourself not to trust your own word. But thankfully, the math works both ways. Every time you show up when you desperately want to stay in bed, every time you grind out that last task when your mind is screaming for a distraction, you grow. The people you look up to aren't special. They've just been lifting heavier mental weights than you for a lot longer. And that's the best news you'll hear all day. Because if discipline is a learned skill, it means you can master it too. You've probably heard of James Clear. He talks about the British cycling team. For nearly 100 years, they were a complete embarrassment. They were the laughingstock of the professional cycling world. Major manufacturers refused to even sell them equipment, fearing it would harm their brand. Then, they hired a new coach named Dave Brailsford. He didn't demand an overnight revolution or instant glory. Instead, he searched for 1% improvements in every single area. If they could just break down everything that goes into riding a bike and improve that by 1%. They started with the obvious, redesigning the bike seats for comfort and efficiency. They tested different fabrics in wind tunnels. They used biofeedback sensors during training to analyze how each rider responded to specific workouts. They tested massage gels for optimal muscle recovery to ensure faster turnaround times for the athletes. They even hired a professional doctor to teach proper hand washing, the simplest, yet most effective method to prevent sickness, keeping the athletes healthy and ready to train. Individually, these tiny changes seemed completely insignificant. No single adjustment looked like it would make a difference. But together, as they all started to connect, the effect was absolutely exponential. Everything changed. 5 years later, at the Beijing Olympics, the team completely dominated. They went on to set 9 Olympic records. That's the reality of discipline and the power of the 1% rule. Success isn't about one heroic decision you make once a year. It's the accumulation of thousands of tiny, seemingly mundane decisions made correctly, day after day after day. If you want ironclad, unbreakable discipline, then you have to stop doing these 3 things immediately. First on the list of self-sabotage, stop negotiating with yourself. When the alarm goes off and you have to get up, or when it's time to finally sit down and do the work, you don't get to debate. The clock is ticking. The longer you debate and try to make excuses, the more opportunity you give your brain to doubt and hesitate. Your brain will always try to talk you out of something difficult, so don't think about it. Clear your mind. Just move. Get started before your own mind stops you. Second habit to break. Stop chasing the motivation high. Let's be real, motivation is a terrible friend. It only shows up when things are easy and exciting, but it completely vanishes the second things get hard. Don't ever rely on motivation to get your work done. Build systems that don't need motivation to succeed. And third, stop expecting instant results. You won't get a six-pack from one workout. Stop looking for shortcuts. Most people quit when they are halfway up the mountain, simply because they don't see results yet. Remember the seed you planted. It takes time, nourishment, and patience to become an oak tree. Stop watching the scoreboard and the stats. Focus entirely on the game. Focus on the effort. Now, let's talk about the practical application. How do you actually train this muscle? How do you strengthen your discipline? You start small. You need incredibly small wins. The easiest way to start: make your bed every morning. It's one of the simplest tasks. It only takes 60 seconds, but it sends a massive signal to your brain. A signal that says, you are someone who completes tasks. Second daily upgrade: kill the snooze button forever. This is crucial. Every single snooze starts your day with a loss. When you hit snooze, you are telling yourself that your fleeting comfort matters more than your massive goals. When that alarm goes off, just get up. No negotiation. The third daily upgrade: do something physically difficult every single day. Go for a long run, or lift heavy weights, or take a cold shower. You have to deliberately make your body uncomfortable. This discomfort is how you build true mental calluses. And the final upgrade: keep the promises you make to yourself. If you say you are going to read tonight, then you read 10 pages. No matter what. If you say you are going to work on your project, then you work on it for at least 1 hour. Self-confidence is not a gift or a magic trick. It is built brick by brick. It comes from self-trust. Finally, let's reframe procrastination. What is it really? Let's bust the biggest myth right now: you aren't actually lazy. You're just trying to avoid the immediate discomfort of the task. When you look at a massive project or a mountain of chores, your brain panics under the weight of it all. To protect itself, it immediately seeks a quick hit of dopamine, using cheap distractions to escape that overwhelming stress. To beat this, you need to use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you are only going to work on it for 5 minutes. If the timer goes off and you still want to quit, you give yourself full permission to walk away. No guilt. But here is the psychological secret of human nature: action always precedes motivation, not the other way around. The hardest part of any task is just overcoming the starting friction. Once you push past that initial wall of resistance, momentum takes over and the effort becomes automatic. Your brain actually shifts gears and wants to keep going. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel ready. Spoiler alert: you will never magically feel ready. You just have to dive in and start anyway. Here is the cold, dark truth about achieving greatness. True greatness is incredibly, deeply boring. It's eating the exact same clean, healthy meal. It's typing out the words on a blank page. It's tracking every single minor expense in a spreadsheet. It's practicing the exact same basic fundamentals again and again and again. None of it comes with fireworks, applause, or drama. It is pure, unadulterated repetition. But that precise repetition is what creates mastery. If you constantly abandon ship to chase a new excitement, you will never stick around long enough to build something significant. You have to learn to fall in love with the daily process, instead of just daydreaming about the trophy at the end. Most people fail because they rely entirely on sheer willpower. But willpower is a finite, limited resource. As the day drags on, your self-control gets weaker and weaker. Truly successful people don't fight their environment, they intentionally design it to work for them. If you seriously want to stop eating junk food, then don't leave it sitting in your kitchen pantry. If you want to stop doom scrolling until 2 a.m., leave your phone charger completely out of reach, all the way on the other side of the house in the living room. Do you want to read more books? Physically place a book right on top of your pillow in the morning. You'll literally have to pick it up before you can lie down. The rule is simple: make your good habits frictionless, and make your bad habits incredibly inconvenient to access. Now, let's talk about the mental shift that changes everything. You need to stop saying things like, "I'm trying to become a disciplined person." Instead, speak with absolute certainty and say, "I am a disciplined person." Your brain is hardwired to protect your self-image. It constantly forces your outward actions to match your internal identity. A disciplined person doesn't debate whether to work out, they just put on their shoes and go. Whenever you hit a moment of weakness, pause and ask, "What would my highest, most disciplined self do right now?" Lock in that answer, and then go execute it immediately. Most people mistakenly think discipline is a strict prison. In reality, discipline is the only path to true freedom. Maintaining financial discipline in the short term is exactly what creates long-term generational wealth. Staying physically disciplined with your nutrition and training is what creates abundant health, strength, and energy. Strictly protecting and disciplining your time is what buys you the freedom to live life on your own terms. Because without discipline, you remain a helpless slave to your chaotic impulses and cheap comforts. Successful people choose the temporary discomfort of the climb to secure an entire lifetime of freedom. But remember, absolutely nothing changes in your life unless you actually step up and take action right now. Consuming information without execution is completely useless. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. Turn off the distractions, put down the excuses, and start now. Because your ultimate discipline isn't built tomorrow, it is built today.